it's like you don't drink from the toilet, but when you need to, but like when you need to, right? It's like there's a source of water. So even when if like people have used it's, I'm just saying it's a necessity. I don't mean to. Didn't mean to make that weird, but how are you doing? How are you both doing? Cecilia, how are you doing?
I'm doing so amazing. I'm so excited to be part of this VR tent preview. Love it.
It's awesome. Your show starts the 12th?
Friday 13. We are sold out for the opening night already.
Yes. You're already sold out for the opening night on Friday the 13th.
Yes.
Are you ready for ghosts?
Yes.
Yeah.
We want them. Totally.
So we can scare them.
Bring them on.
You guys have already won. You've already won the interview. If you can tell me, first of all, introduce yourselves, if you could. My audience is new, and we want to hear who you are and what you're about. So if you both can introduce yourself, that'd be great.
Ladies first.
Okay. I'm Cecilia Ferreira. And I work actually community and social services, but I'm really involved with the arts and culture. I love it. And I'm so lucky to be the manager of the Cuban Movement Dance Academy and producing this show at the moment.
That's wonderful.
So my name is Leo Gonzalez. I'm the owner, director, choreographer, main dancer, first dancer, of Cuban Movement Dance School, Dance Academy.
Yeah.
We have switched to Dance Academy. It used to be Dance School, but now we're growing so much and we're trying to have a different mentality. So it just, we switched it to Academy. So just fit up the name more for what we're doing right now.
And our first time at Fringe. So we are really happy.
That's very cool. But what do you mean by different mentality? Like, what was the mentality that you're trying to switch to?
Before we were trying to get a little bit more just like teaching some classes for people to learn basic stuff about things. When we're switching now to Academy, we're using we are creating professional dancers. We're creating, we get people to get to the real thing, right?
So you have levels of
Yes.
Someone can come in as a beginner, but they can progress through stages.
Exactly.
And it's more also as well, not necessarily that we want people to become or be professional dancers, but to train like professional dancers.
Yes.
So, for example, I never trained as a dancer, but now, in my adult life, I love it. So I want to go to a place where I'm learning from professional teachers. I can learn some technique, have fun, but, in a professional environment.
A lot about arts is people taking it seriously, taking the art, because art can be fun. Art can be something that you can do loosely or whatnot. But there's a saying that you have to understand the rules before you break them.
Exactly.
Is that what you're talking about when you say progression, or you say when you're trying to take it to that next level?
Yes, completely. Yeah, we want the people to have fully knowledge about the essential of where the dance come from, how to grow for the real. We get a really good base. Because originally, I back home from Cuba, I went to the professional dance school. I just kind of was forced here to start slowly building something. Well, obviously, here in Edmonton, there are not too many dance school to be able to provide the authenticity and the level that I could do it. So most of the students will get the approach. They were actually looking for basic stuff. But then after they just go to one point, they just there's another place. There's no another place to go. And I was like, yeah, I can.
Yeah. It's I hit a ceiling, and you're like, oh, we're offering you the ceiling above the ceiling.
And the other piece here, is that, and this will be seen also in the actual show, which is the variety and the richness of Cuban dance and culture. So people sing Latin, they sing salsa, but there is much more than salsa. And so in the Cuban Movement Dance Academy, and in the show, you will see the variety of dance styles, including the roots that come from really Africa, the Afro-Cuban.
Yeah.
So that's why this is an academy. You get a variety of classes.
I think that people the Lego of like, okay, you're Cuban, you only do Cuban salsa. No, we do have ballet, we have contemporary, we have tap, we have flamenco, we have
because you are influenced by other cultures as well, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. And so we also have like Carlos Junior Acosta, who's like the top professional ballet dancer in the whole entire world. And it came from Cuba. So it's kind of like, for me, it's funny how it's like, oh yeah, everybody just have to do salsa, so you're coming from Cuba. So that Lego, we're trying to like, with this Fringe, we're providing this like amazing musical show going. We do everything, mambo, cha-cha-cha, we put everything, contemporary ballet, like we have everything all together. So
that's awesome. And that is awesome. Also, I have a confession.
You want to come to the academy?
I've never, no, well, I probably, but I don't know yet. I was never off of the continent of North America. And the first place I went to with my family when we decided we were going to go, where we could afford to go, was to Cuba. But now I realize that with an all-inclusive, you don't actually go to Cuba.
No, you didn't went to Cuba.
I love the beaches. I love the smell of the ocean. I love the food. We left so much stuff there for the people that we thought needed our help. We did it, but we never went to, we went to Cuba, but we didn't go to Cuba. What is the difference between my what's that called? Curated. What is my curated version of Cuba versus real Cuba?
Well, I can't tell you for my particular side that
I got to kill a man for $7. Is that Cuban? Is that Cuban?
No.
Okay. Because he was dead. He was dead. They just let me punch him. I'm totally joking. I'm trying to make light of the situation.
Sure
yeah. But like from what I heard is like you go to Cuba and these all inclusives, like they're just not, it's just like Canada light. It's just America light. It's just like you're safe, but it's not, you're not immersing yourself in a culture. You're immersing yourself in your culture in a different place.
Yes.
So I have the privilege, like how we call in Cuba, to have the chance to work on the resorts outside, like we call outside Cuba, because when you get there, you can see like the houses are different, the mentality of the people are different, the way they speak and they talk is different, so highly, because they have different world. They're not really getting all the complete necessity or like the people who are in real city they are. But when you get to the city, that's how you really get to you get the authenticity of the food. It's amazing. Like I tried the food in the resort, they're like terrible because they're cooking for like 200 million people. But when you go there to the casa, you have this like amazing like mom making this food and then the people that are so friendly. We dance all the time. They say like and the party when you go to a resort, like it's just different. They have American music and everything. You go to Habana, you go to like the real town, then you start to listen to music until like 3 a.m. People playing domino, like dancing salsa. Then
all ages,
all ages. It doesn't matter. You're a baby. You have like headphones and they start to
The one thing I will say that I truly believe is the Cuban experience that I had is that we were there with our 2-year-old son, and whenever we sat down, whenever he made a noise, someone came and picked him up and took and took him away and shook him around and gave him the greatest time ever. And I was like, I want what he's having. I want that because you can't put a monetary equivalent on that, right? Like that relationship to children, that relationship to anything like that. And now I start to realize that we drank whatever we wanted, we ate chicken, we ate like there was a price difference, but that was the one thing. Like we did go to Havana, we saw Hemingway, all that stuff, and I'm like, this is curated, this isn't real. But it was the way that my 2-year-old son was treated. I was like, he got the experience. That little jerk got all the money. And I tell him that every day. He's 7 now. And whenever he wakes up, I'm like, you owe me money.
Well, our our show is family friendly, so you can bring him to see Mi Habana Querida.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where's your venue? Where's your venue? Where's your venue? Where's my pen?
Westbury. We are in that beautiful venue, the Westbury at the Arms Barn.
So you're in heaven on earth.
We are. And it's cabaret style seating. So, we actually think it's going to be amazing.
So I walk into the Westbury. I've got my son who I've been yelling at all day. Jokes. I'm joking. But I walk into the Westbury. I sit down. What happens in front of me? Like, what am I looking at? Your show starts. Is it sound? Is it color? Is it dance? Is it story?
You're going to be entering really a nightclub in Havana. So there's going to be music.
We will transfer all the audience to be there in the 1969 when the revolution.
No, you're taking it back.
They will.
So you're. Oh, I want to swear so much right now. Oh, that's awesome. Go ahead. Sorry.
There's gonna be music as you enter already. Even before we start the show, you are already immersed in the music of Cuba, the beautiful music. Then you're gonna be sitting again in this cabaret style city. Oh, and
okay, I still see your name. We can still hear you.
Happening?
It's probably ghosts. I could make a whole bunch of political references to ghosts, but yeah, exactly. You're just like slam. Get your hands off the computer, Cecilia. Jeepers creepers. Go ahead. Sorry.
So that's basically what's happening. And so everyone is gonna be sitting, and then it's like you're in a nightclub, and then the show starts.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't like I said, it was the first time I was off the continent. And I felt like I was submersed in a culture. Only so far as to say that we paid someone to drive us 6 hours to Havana.
Ooh.
And it was an old car. You know the story.
Yes.
But it was the way we were treated. I think there was a kindness that goes beyond it goes beyond money. It was just quite wonderful. I felt I just felt like I can, if I do something stupid, I'm gonna get in trouble. But if I respect the people around me, I'm not. That's sort of what I wanted. Like, I don't want to be that white honky dude coming into someone else's culture and like, here's my money, do what I say. I didn't want that at all. I wanted the food was fine, but it was curated for me. But it was more about talking to the people around, like whenever we got out of the cars and experiencing the language and just the how pardon my French, but how fucking beautiful. We went to caves. We saw mountains.
No.
You can't fake that. Like, you can't. And I was like, oh, this is what built this culture. These people were built off this culture. And I was like, just as an aside, like I was a canoe guide in Northern Ontario. I still sort of am. For about like 15 years. So I took people out into the woods, into the wilderness. So I have a relationship with the natural world. And I just remember seeing all this. And I'm like, people lived in and existed in that. People were a part of that. It makes you who you are. And it's like, that's Cuba. This pizza. This pizza is not Cuba. It's tasty.
One of the pieces of the show that is the more exploration of the Afro-Cuban dance, the connection to Africa, is connected to the elements of nature. So you will see some of the dances are connected to water, fire, wind.
And there's a sad connection to the African-Cuban connection, is there not? There's a slave trade. There's the rum area. Like, that stuff was just touched on. I'm like, I live in Canada. I understand how we treated our First Nations people. You can't glean over that. Like, you can't. This is something you have to like represent. And I just felt like, oh, okay, like the real Cubano people, like culture is such a tough thing. But dance, is where you get to celebrate yourselves and celebrate love and celebrate music and celebrate triumph and forgetting about all the bull crap. And is that what your show is about?
It's a love story for sure.
Ah, I love love.
Yeah.
I love it. I love love.
It's a love story.
Obviously, which is like we're talking about Cuba. There's always like love story, drama, like all
Yeah.
this kind of stuff.
It's soap opera. A little bit. Anyway.
It's just like like it's just funny. It's just always the life that we live in. Bold. We don't have the money, but we have this like amazing, like smile, laugh, and everything.
Beautiful people rising above, like
You
so.
have everything and you still feel that you have everything.
Mhm.
So,
But basically, it's a love story actually between an Afro-Cuban guy, Pablo, which is played by Leo here, and then a wealthy girl from Miami, Tiffany. That's the love story. And the backdrop is the Cuban Revolution.
And that's not on that is on purpose. The fact that she's from Miami, right? Because a lot of Cuban people
Exactly.
went, So, I want to, I want to watch the crap out of that. And there's dance and there's song.
yes.
Yes.
How do you decide? How do you decide what you put into your show? Like, how do you curate it? Like, what are your favorite parts? Were there things that you wanted to put in it, but that you didn't? Yeah,
the thing is, like, as we like always like have this idea of like I want to like have this storyline in my head. It's just like with manager, we put the things together, just like, okay, this is like how like and I have so many things that we're at the end we have to cut it and make it smaller because otherwise it would take like 3 days. So we select like the more important part, the more funny, the more dramatic part, like dramatic. And we make this kind of balance so that way people doesn't get like, oh yeah, this is too boring, right? We're trying to like sync it.
But I think the most important piece, as I saw it, as I was supporting really Leo in this production, really in the creation, like he had the concept, but then you have to translate it into a sequence that can, be in theater. I think one of the most important things was for him, certain dances have to be there, dance styles that represent Cuba.
Because they happen at certain ports, certain parts in the history of Cuba.
There is a sequence and there is the elements of dance. So we were going to have perhaps more dances, and now we have to finalize. And so certain things, for example, reggaeton, which is not really Cuban, but regardless, reggaeton is very, we were going to have some reggaeton, but then when the time came to really, do the final selection, the choice of dances was done from his point of view in terms of what is important to represent in terms of Cuban dance, and then the storyline,
because you got to relate to your audience, and even if you make those hard decisions, right?
Yes.
And that sounds like a very hard decision to make. So
we went from 16 dancers to 7, right?
I think also, in all honesty, this is our first Fringe production, our first production of this nature here. And the inspiration, I don't know if when you were in Cuba and Havana, you were able to go to the Tropicana Club in Havana.
I snuck out.
It is an amazing.
I stole a bike.
It has so many.
I have two other families.
But anyway.
Thank you for walking me out of that. Wow, that was great. Also, do you study law? Just kidding. Go ahead.
No, then, like it's also understanding for us to really understand how this is a good fit and adapt to the Fringe. The Fringe has a particular way. It's amazing. It's a very democratic, creative, amazing, inclusive approach to theater. So, you only have so much time to set up. You cannot leave us out. So maybe at the beginning where, you start very aspirational and then you start to make it really a good fit for the conditions. So I think.
Yes. And this Fringe is different though. This Fringe, there's a time limit, right? So I think you have 40-60 minutes.
60
between
minutes.
you don't usually have that.
No, but it's more the time to get ready for the stage.
Ah, I see what
That's
you're
the
saying.
problem, because we
Yes.
have all the choreographies, most of them require a change of costumes. We have so many costumes. Yeah, it's only 7 dancers, but we are changing for each. So it's a little bit
So
crazy.
you're showing off. You're showing off
We
how
are showing-
awesome you are.
Yes. So
That is
basically, we want
wonderful.
to create the,
Yeah.
give people that taste, not only with the movements, which are really important and particular in his case, but also with the, the hats with the flowers,
And they're also a messenger that we're sending through each choreography. They all have a meaning, where it came, how they go, created the movement, like, because like all these dance was created by different years, right? Like how the musicality and
different generations, different
and
experiences. Yes, exactly. Yep.
Like through the story, the love story, and it's awesome. So you can see the drama, you can see the dance, you can see what is happening, plus the technique and the quality of the dancers. Like, we're very, very excited.
Yeah, very.
So let me sum it up. It's a love story told through thousands of years of dance by extremely talented dancers with I can't wait to see it. It just sounds great. It sounds so difficult to do. It sounds like something that if it didn't work the first time, I want to see it a million times.
Oh, I want to show you. Look.
Put it right now over more. That's the car that I got driven into Havana, except there was a Macintosh decal on the side. I felt I'll honestly say like my relationship to Cuba was one of extreme intimacy, but understanding like the privilege of me going there. And with the pandemic that has happened, the strength of my white settler privilege has only been more emboldened, and it makes me want to. I don't want to walk off the beaten path. I don't want to walk into people's homes. I don't want to do that. But from what I experienced in Cuba, like the relationship that it has in my heart, I'll never be able to change that. Because it was just such a, even that watered down culture, and I'm not trying to diminish it, but I'm pretty sure it was like the safe culture of Cuba that I got to see was still stronger than a lot of culture I get to see here in Canada, because we're colonial, we're Irish, Scottish, blah blah blah. So, but to see like an island in the Atlantic that has been fought over and people have died for and lied for, and so many strong things have happened, like just to see like the dance culture that comes out of that, I will not understand, but I will respect. Does that make sense? I can't wait. I can't wait to see your show. I can't wait to see, especially in the Westbury too. Like that's the best
The
place.
other thing that we wanted to say is that this is a very important time in Cuba at the moment. If people are following the news,
yes,
Cuba,
I am following the news, which is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Yeah,
it's really thrilled for us to be able to bring, and with him who is from Cuba, to share with Edmonton a little bit of the culture and the richness, and because like it's a way of supporting the people of Cuba by doing this show here and building bridges. So in the future, we may be able to go back again to Cuba. So that's very important for us.
The most terrible thing about politics is that it forgets that it's based off people and real people that are existing and loving and trying to bring up families during whatever, pardon my French, whatever bullshit is going on all around them, because they're just trying to exist. and trying to like love the people that they should love. So this is wonderful, and I can't wait to see it. Is there anything that I haven't asked? Is there anything that you wish I asked, or do you want to ask me anything?
Actually, the only thing that we didn't talk about, apart that you're really awesome and we enjoyed this interview,
Well,
is that we want to,
first of all, you're right. Go ahead.
we really want to acknowledge and tell our sincere, deepest appreciation to the Fringe, because apart from Fringe being what it is already, they awarded Leo for this production the MOAT Diversity Award. And, you know, to be part of something
Nice.
that celebrates diversity is something so beautiful. So we are really grateful. Yeah.
I will say that that's probably not a coincidence. I'll probably say that as based off of his merit and his abilities.
Yes.
If anything, the Fringe gets right, it is to celebrate people of quality.
Yeah,
So,
Congratulations, Leo.
we're so excited. We're so excited. We all think this will be the open for everybody to really get to see what we can do, what we want to express, and we can wait for the future.